loans, personal loans, and adventure vehicle loans. Thank you for making this milestone possible. Come celebrate with us at any Radiant location or visit radiantcu.org for more info. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Are you ready to pack the bank? The preseason action continues Friday, August 28th as the Jaguars clash with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a can't-miss matchup under the lights. Kickoff is 7:30, so bring the energy, bring the noise, and get an early look at your 2026 Jaguars in action. Seating capacity is limited, so lock down your seats now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Wehbe Marketing. He's been broadcasting Gator sports for more than 30 years. He's seen it all and spoken with everyone. This is Sports Scene with Steve Russell.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency. And brought to you in part by Campus USA Credit Union, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Doreen Wehbe Realtor, Meldon Law, UF Orthopedics, Atlantic Roofing, Ruzogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, Sensei Asian Bistro, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's the Dean of Gator Sports, Steve Russell.
Welcome into a Monday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on ESPN 98.1 FM 850 AM, WRUF. I'm Steve Russell. It's time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Tori's going to produce the program today. Got a lot of things to discuss today. Now, you would think a pretty big story is Florida naming a starting quarterback for the season. And it is a big story, and that's been done. But there's a bigger story today because Florida soccer gets its first win against a top 10 opponent since 2017. And here is Coach Nick Zimmerman to talk about Florida's win over Florida State. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Tori, go ahead and grab his mic. Okay. There we go. There you go. He's back. Great win. Let's start with looking before this matchup, Nick, because, look, you thought, and I mean, look, all coaches want to compete, all coaches, but that's a real key for you, and maybe you didn't do that as much before, but the other day you did.
Yeah, I mean, 3 games in, it's a small sample size,
Sure.
if you will. But, it's something, if you go back to the spring, we felt, part of our identity, part of our DNA is competing. We talk about it all the time, being hard and smart. And, the smart is the tactical acumen to play the way we want to play. But if you're not hard, it doesn't really matter. And so, we felt that we were inconsistent at times throughout our first 2 preseason games and even our first 2 games of the season in terms of being hard and competing. And, that's what was a big emphasis, going into Sunday's fixture. And we're really, really, really proud of the way the entire group competed, from sideline to the field to the mentality, the mindset. It was a total team performance and, obviously extremely proud of the group.
If you have a question or a comment for Coach, 392-8255, you can email me. I'll pass it along. srussell@wruf.com. Sometimes you can tell before a game or a match, we're ready to play. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, we were incredibly intentional, and a huge shout out to the staff, the support staff. I mean, we got off the field, when we got done speaking to the group after Coastal late. It was probably 11:30 p.m. And I know when we left as a staff, I mean, it was close to 2, and even some of the support staff stayed later to get the turnaround time for the next day. But you could certainly see that there was intent in terms of what we were focusing on. And, again, we believe we have, a very good team, a team that's, united, a team that believes. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it wasn't a matter of if. Coach Jon made that point to the group in our pregame it's not a matter of if we get hard. It's just when. When do we want to be there? When do we want to arrive? It doesn't have to be Sunday, but that's time that we're wasting. And time is the most precious currency. So, it was a challenge to the players, and one that we're continuing to learn a lot about. But they were ready, and they said we want it to be today.
This is going to go beyond my scope, but you can do this. In terms of the match and what took place, scoring first, I'm sure helped. Mm-hmm. But what were some of the other keys in terms of why you won this in terms of the play?
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate to score first, so far this season, knock on wood. But it's you look at it in terms of, a holistic approach. You play against a very good, Florida State team. They've got incredible athletes, right? Top-ranked players all around, the country and some even the world. And so, it was going to have to be collective. If you lose a 1v1 matchup, we need someone there to cover. And so that was really kind of the theme of, our defensive structure is we always wanted to have cover. We always wanted to have opportunities to funnel them into spaces where we had cover.
Good crowd.
Oh, I mean, I said it in my post-match. I took to social media. Just absolutely electric atmosphere. We saw people on the hill underneath the scoreboard. You had, the frequents that are there banging the drums. You had people, in the goal, behind the goal, up top. Just electric. And, to set the attendance record yesterday on that day was extremely special. But hopefully, this is just the beginning of what we really, really want to build. This can be a fortress. And in the SEC, when you play every match, they matter. They're all important. And, we want this to be a place where nobody wants to come to play.
When you look at, first of all, the rest of the year, and you start in the SEC, you've been in the SEC, I'm sure you haven't looked that far ahead yet, but in terms of the league, Nick, what do you see?
A lot of really good results. A number of teams are already undefeated, 3-4-0, have some big wins. It's a gauntlet. We have arguably the hardest schedule in the SEC. The teams that we play, whether we're home or we're away, they're some of the toughest places to play and some of the best teams right now that are playing in top form. So, obviously we try and have a non-conference schedule that will prepare us. That's why we have, Florida State. And then also we added Wake Forest late, when I arrived. And right now they're a top 5, top 10 program that, is beating everyone they play. So, these are games that, again, they help us learn. That was the message after UCF. That was the message after Coastal. And that was, again, the message yesterday is we're going to enjoy last night because it was a historic day for the program, for the university. But we've got to continue to keep learning because we've got to keep getting better. I do want to shout out, the president, Dr. Bell, and his wife, Susan, coming out to the game yesterday.
Oh, they were there? That's
They
cool.
were there. It was awesome coming down the halftime tunnel. He greeted the players. You could see the love he has for UF and what, sports mean to them. So that was a really, really cool moment to have and to share with them. So I appreciate them coming out.
I also want to ask, if somebody doesn't know, how does the SEC put together the soccer schedule?
Yeah, the SEC, so it's a 3-year loop, and, you're going to play 10 games. And in the past, they've had divisions, East and West. We've gone away from the divisions now, so you play 10 teams, and then it's a rotate. So you're going to miss 5 teams every year, and they try and structure it so that, you're going to get to play every team. It's just over a 3-year structure.
A lot of times when you inherit a team, you had a lot of kids transfer, with you here, and I'm sure that helped. They knew your system and all of that. But the ones that were either new or stayed and had to get used to you, so to speak, and vice versa. How has that transition been?
Yeah, just obviously an enormous amount of credit goes to the players and the staff. We've said part of our mission statement is to develop transformational relationships, and that only happens if you're willing to invest, and it's both sides. And the players here have been open-minded. They've been curious. They want to learn. They want to grow, and they bought in. And the staff, for us, that's pretty much what our expectations and our standards are. So to see them continue to grow and learn every single day, and the group collectively, you saw a group yesterday that whether you played 0 minutes, whether you played 90 minutes, you saw a group that it was a total team moment. And for us, that's obviously the most important.
I can ask questions, but if you have a question or a comment for Coach, 392-8255, you could also email srussell@wruf.com. I'm asking this, I don't know the answer to it, style of play, Nick, with what, if you're familiar with what Florida did previously and then what you bring to the table, is that style of play different?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just from a philosophical side of it, you look at it, we want to have the ball. We want to dominate the ball. It's high risk, high reward. We feel going forward, we're going to create, opportunities and chances. And with that, it does leave you vulnerable in the back. And as you've seen, through the first 3 games, there's going to be moments where they get a little dicey. And, I've said it in my interviews as well. Some of our mistakes have been loud mistakes, meaning, when you make that mistake, you're going to get punished, as opposed to a mistake here and there where you can win it back or it's not in a dangerous area. So it's part of us learning. It's part of us growing. We'll continue to make sure that we're putting the players in the right spot, understanding the structure. But, we're going to be a high-risk, high-reward team.
What do you look for in a keeper?
One that is brave, that wants to have the ball at their feet. For us, the way that we play, the goalkeeper is arguably one of the most important positions on the field. We ask a lot of them when we have the ball, and then we ask a lot of them when we don't have the ball. If you were at the game yesterday, you watched it, depending on the angle, our goalkeeper plays pretty high off her line. And so she's going to get involved in quite a few actions. And so, they've got to be brave. They've got to be, a student of the game. They've got to understand where the free player is or where the free space is, and be able to problem solve all over the field.
Next up, Jacksonville. Tell me about them.
Yeah, another really good team. They've had some great results. I think they beat Miami early in the season 2-0. So had a very good season last year. It's a staff that's a newer staff, but one that want to play football as well. So it's going to be a great test. Like I said, we told the players last night, enjoy it. And then, today we're back at it preparing for Jacksonville. We'll see the group tomorrow, and we're going to have to be, intentional like we've been, and we go again.
I love the word that you use, intentional. I've never heard a coach use that word. So somebody's listening and they hear you say intentional. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, nowadays, right, you can do things just to do them, right, to check a box. And for us, being intentional is, we say all the time, not positive, but progressive, right? Can you be progressive? Can you be intentional with what you're doing? Really being curious, really being thoughtful, really being intentional with what we are looking for. Not just going there and taking notes to take notes, not just nodding to nod, like really being intentional with your development, your growth, how you're treating your teammates, how you're treating yourself. And those are things that, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so for us, it's every single day that's our standard, and those are the expectations.
Last thing, sometimes media, fans don't see, obviously, things behind the scenes. I don't care what sport it is. There's a head coach who's responsible, but there's also support staff, assistant coaches, etc. How has that been for you so far in your time at Florida?
Yeah, I joke a lot of the times it's like you're a GM. You're like a general manager. You're trying to, put, pieces of the puzzle together. I've got an incredible staff. Again, I can't say enough great things about Coach Jon and his experience, right? He's been a head coach for multiple, 10, 12 years. And so I lean on him in a lot of areas that he's experienced, some of the mistakes he's made, the things that he's learned, what he's done that's been successful. You've got the coaching staff that, Coach David and Coach Kerry that, preparing us for opponents and scouts. Our support staff team in terms of Noah and Aiden, Vic, Coach Caitlin. You look at them providing data. We use a ton of data. Connie, our trainer is, the GOAT. She's incredible. Brian Flood, the administrator, the support, everything from top to bottom, I am incredibly blessed to have the staff that we have, because it's, it doesn't work without them. I get pulled in a lot of different directions. And so I know whenever I come back, everything's organized, everything's set. And then I'm looking to my right here with Mary Howard, who's the other GOAT in the SID world. So, they make us look good, and they make it a lot easier, so much easier for myself and the staff.
And Mary's seen a thing or two in her time here. I got a call for you here, Coach. Robert, hello.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to congratulate you on a win. As I was watching the game yesterday and we scored, it was like, this is, unbelievable. And then that save, the goalie made that incredible save on that breakaway. if that isn't on Sports Center, I don't know what would be. But I just wanted to call you and say, and then that last goal, if the girls were wearing those things that the boys used to wear, it would be on the field. Unbelievable. So, congratulate you. What talent we have, and go Gators. Thank you.
I appreciate the call. Thank you,
Robert. Yeah, somebody just a comment for Coach that goal he saved should be on Sports Center.
Yeah, we had the second goal I think we scored could be on Sports Center as well. So,
Mike emails, I love Coach's attitude. I'm going to take my granddaughter because of him. He said we're going to be aggressive offensively. I love that. Greg, congrats. Florida soccer beating FSU never gets old.
Yeah, I'm learning that it's an important rivalry for sure, and every in-state school is important. But again, it was the most important game because it was the next game. Now Jacksonville is the most important game because it's the next game.
Last question for you. Obviously, day one, if you have a group that starts, it doesn't mean that game 10 or game 15, it's the same group. How do you handle competition internally? In other words, you may have a position where you have two players that are pretty equal. How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You look at from Coastal, we made some wholesale changes halfway through the first half, right? Continuing to give players opportunities and for us to evaluate. And then this game, you have Nora Abbott and Avery Upton who didn't play at all so far this season, and then are thrown in a pretty hot match, as we call it. Came in, stepped in, and did incredible. So, Jaden obviously didn't start the first game, played a little bit of the second game, and then comes in and starts this. So, we said at the end of the day, every single day matters. Every single rep matters. Always be ready because you never know when your number is going to get called. It's up to them how they receive that. If, they're disappointed and if their body language, then that means they're probably not ready. And if they get thrown in, then it doesn't give them the best possible chance to have the success they're looking for. But yesterday was a testament of players being ready, bought in, and, obviously incredibly proud of the group.
Congrats on the win. I know how busy you are. Thank you for – wait, we may have another call for you here, so we'll wait. But thank you for taking the time to come up.
I appreciate you having me. I always enjoy seeing you.
Yeah, me too, especially in situations like this. These are
let's have more of these.
Really good ones. Yeah.
Let's have more of these.
Is this okay? This is for Coach. Okay, and we'll hold on a second here. Tori's going to give me a name here, and okay. Well, we'll just take the call. Hey, this is for Coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Mike, and Coach, I love your attitude. I haven't wanted to go to a Gator soccer game in a few years because they weren't aggressive offensively. And I'm going to take my granddaughter to a bunch of games this year because of your attitude. I just really appreciate you coming here and giving 100%, and it's already paying off. So I just welcome to Gator country, and really love how you're doing everything, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate that. It means a lot.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the call. And, Coach, thank you. Appreciate you. We'll have him back as the season progresses. We'll take a break, come back, and then we'll open the phone lines and hear from you. You're tuned to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Southeast Cardincy studio on WRUF. Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Cardincy in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
For 60 years, GW Homes has been building beautiful homes and helping families build great lives right here in Alachua County. GW Homes is Alachua County's luxury home builder, known for exceptional craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and a commitment to quality. And as a proud third-generation family-owned company, they know what it means to build for generations. Ready to build your dream home? Visit the GW Homes model this weekend or talk with a GW Homes team member today. Explore more at gwhomes.com. That's gwhomes.com.
In the mood for a delicious Asian fusion cuisine for lunch? Then head to P.F. Chang's in Gainesville. They have lunch specials starting at just $11.99. Happy hour, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Wednesdays are girls' night with half-price wine and champagne bottles, and any day, anytime, sip house and lucky cocktails for $8.99. Celebrate every meal at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch, drinks, and fun.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for moneyline, spread, and over. Under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The Extra Point with Steve Russell, presented by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Saturdays after Gator football, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
I can listen to the music and listen to them. They're really good. The Doobies. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Again, coming to you live from the Southeast Cardincy Studio. Family owned and operated, the business in operation since 1979. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Go see them today. When you do, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Don't forget the phone number to call, 392-8255. That's our Titan MRI and imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. Find out more, TitanMRI.com. Email, you know it, srussell@wruf.com, presented by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators, designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, a whole lot more at International Diamond Center. And appreciate Quality Plumbing, being a sponsor of the first hour of the show. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Indeed, Quality Plumbing's name says it all. And don't forget, all of our guests on the show come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. Let's go to our Titan MRI imaging phone line. Gatorman's there. What's up?
What's going on, Steve?
Hey.
A big win for the soccer team yesterday. I actually got a chance to watch the whole game. And Piedmont Bulldog lost Friday night, 34-8. They was ranked number 2. Ranked number 1 and 2A. They lost to a 4A school. And as far as the NFL, Steve, the Gators got 54 players in the NFL. That's pretty close to most of any college team. And I get on to my top 10 list. I got the top 10 reasons the Gators offense should be better in 26. Number 10, they should have pride. Number 9, Jaden Voss should take the load off. Number 8, I think the wide receiver room is one of the best in the country. Number 7, they got a true offensive coordinator. Number 6, offensive line is time to man up. Number 5, I think the tight ends will be a big surprise. Number 4, I think the quarterback should be consistent, I hope. Number 3, I don't think we'll average 3 interceptions per game this year. And number 2, they probably have more than 3 plays That number one got weapons everywhere. You stop one, somebody else should eat. Steve, you have a good day.
All right, Gator Man, thank you. And again, Aaron Philo named the starting quarterback today. If you're shocked, you should not be. And I'm not saying anything that would demean what Tramell Jones did. But I think most people around the program thought this would be the end result. International Diamond Center email, Bob, a lot of people are drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking the Gators will win 9 or 10 games. This happens every offseason, even in the Napier era. However, here's what's going to happen in my opinion. The Gators have an untested offense and defensive lines, along with 2 untested quarterbacks. Well, that's not true. Philo's played some, but I get your point. They face 5 teams already ahead of them in the polls. So with that in mind, they'll be very lucky to go 7-5, but 6-6 is the most probable prediction. However, the new coach will build a winner in the following years. It'll be interesting to see what happens from here. I don't think there's any question about that. BB, this is from the other day. Everybody seems to be certain about the Houston defense. Do you think the offense will catch up with the defense? That's going to be the question. Is it good enough for them to get to the playoffs and maybe to the Super Bowl? I think they have to get better to get to the Super Bowl. Gators have been seeing a lot about the offensive line of teams are going to be playing. Also, a number of running backs in the league are good, even for some so-so teams. I have a big concern of how good our defensive line will pan out. I think they're going to be tested to the extreme this year, judging from what I'm seeing about those other teams. Going to be a whole lot of running, or at least trying to. Do you agree? I think it just depends what the team does, BB, that you play. What do they do? What's their strength? Some teams are going to throw it a little more than others. Some teams will run it a little more. But part of that is, what you see on tape and what you can exploit. And that's the chess match that football is. Daryl, hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Steve. Steve, what's this going around that if Daquan Wright gets cut by Cleveland, Kiffin's wanting to come to LSU?
Yeah, that's been out there for a day or two, yes.
Okay. Will it ever get any better, Steve, or going to get worse before it gets better?
Well, you're asking me to go down a street that is a dead end. But I will say this. There has to be something, maybe this Congress act, that's got to get passed here. Because if it doesn't in this session, all you have to do now is go to court and get a restraining order of some kind, and you can do just about what you want. And that's chaos that you just can't sustain that. I wouldn't coach now if they paid me what the coaches get paid. Because there's so many other ancillary things now that you have to do besides coach. And it's just getting way too complicated, way too ridiculous. And because of the courts here, and look, with Wright becoming the NFL's first active player to enter college football's transfer portal, guess what? That's another new thing that college football and even the NFL is going to have to deal with because of what judges are allowing to happen.
Yeah. Well, Steve, you mentioned coaching. You would coach if you had to nowadays. As you know, I run the chains on Friday night at our local high school football games, and I was running them this past Friday night. And coaches nowadays, Steve, it's, this social media stuff with these kids nowadays, and, kid don't want to play there, they'll go somewhere else. And NIL's involved in high school now, so I feel for these coaches nowadays, my man.
Yeah, look, you have to, like anything else, the only constant is change. And that's just how it is. Sometimes, though, it isn't one thing that changes or two things that change. It's everything changes seemingly all at once. And then you're scrambling, to find ways to do things. So, and remember, let me go back to Lane Kiffin and the whole situation. Lane Kiffin is only doing what's allowed. He didn't create this. He didn't go to court, right? It's the NCAA. It's what judges are doing here, okay? And his job, I mean, if you want to boil this down, his job is to build the best roster he can build for LSU. That's his job. That's what he's being paid for. So guess what? If some dopey judge allows you to go do what you can do to get an NFL roster player on your team, guess what? Great. He's only helping his team, which is he's getting paid to do. So don't hate Kiffin. Hate the system. Don't hate Kiffin. He's doing what I think any coach should do.
Right. And I'll make it quick, Steve. So this, Denzel Aberdeen, he's not eligible now. But he can file a suit and maybe get his eligibility back with Florida?
That's how I would read this. But, again, you're asking me to read judges, and if he gets a restraining order, that's how I think this would operate. But that might change tomorrow.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
That's my law firm, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. That's right.
Yep. Appreciate it, my man.
All right. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate it. We're going to take a break and come back. Freddie Wehbe is here. It was an incredible weekend here in town. Incredible. And he's going to recap it for you and let you know what happened. And if that's going to happen next year, all of that, he'll tell you about that. And then we'll continue with your questions, calls, and comments on Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Southeast Car Agency Studio on WRUF.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City. Serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
The head ball coach scores again. Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager is now available everywhere at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Smooth and refreshing with just enough of a crisp finish. Also available at most places you buy beer. If you don't see it, ask for it.
A beer made by Gators for Gators. Make a great play and enjoy a cold one today.
Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager. Please drink responsibly.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wehbe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
The Tampa Bay Rays play here all summer long. WRUF.
Don't forget, if you have Facebook Live questions, Tori gets them to us, courtesy of Rules Ogra State Farm. Visit ograinsurance.com to learn more about their 2 locations in Gainesville and Newberry. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking. Founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. And don't forget, you can send us questions and comments in our text line, 352-325-3777. And again, thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring hour number 1 of Sports Scene. Sometimes there can be a bunch of athletic events that take place over a weekend, and you can have great games come out of that. Or, like we had this past weekend, you can have great events that have athletics involved in them that happen, and everything sort of falls into place. That's what we had here this past weekend. And if you're not familiar with it, or from some of the results of it, Freddie Wehbe is here because he helped organize all of this. Freddie, first of all, look, whether anybody participated in this or not, what a weekend. A lot of different things involved to raise money for a really good cause, which I'm sure you'll get into. But if somebody doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge about this, kind of go into what happened and some of the things that took place here.
Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity. Yes, it was a great weekend for Gator Nation, for our community, to see all our superstars align and work together. It takes a village to do a great cause. It takes a lot of hard work. There's a lot of people that worked very hard to make this weekend happen, and there was 3 different events. There was a sports card show at the Alachua County Event and Sports Center that was hosted, and there was 200 dealers there, and over 5,000 people came in and traded cards and bought cards and sold collectibles. And it's great to see families and moms and kids. And there was about 2,000 kids there doing Pokemon cards and buying cards. See them walk around and do deals. And it's amazing. Our Gainesville community needed a nice card show, a big one, and this happened, and I think this will happen again. All the proceeds from that went to the cause as well. And then at the event last night, we had the dinner, the gala. All 3 Heisman winners were there: Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, Steve Spurrier, many other Gators were there. Jeff Cardozo was there. Sean Kelly was the MC, and it's a couple of hundred people in the room. Also sponsors and supporters of this event. They're there for the cause and to spend time with these athletes, and just to see these former Gators kind of get together and in unison discuss why they're there and helping each other and donate their time and provide the messaging to help the cause, which is Isaiah 117 house, and really build a house here in the Gainesville area. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than later because of everyone's participation, because of Gator Nation getting together. Coach Sumrall was there with his wife, Jeannie. They spoke as well. And really, this is about kids. At the end, this is about kids. This is about kids that are separated from their parents, that need a home. And Isaiah 117 house does a great job. Across the country, they have 66 homes across 13 states, not in Alachua County. So the objective all along is to get one in here, and I'm so happy to say that's going to happen.
I know sometimes these things sort of coalesce around an event, which is the Isaiah House here. But let's take just the card show part of it, Freddie. Is there a chance that becomes an annual thing? Is this a one-off, or could we see more of that?
That's a very good question, and the answer is yes. There will be, I think it should be twice a year, but we're discussing that right now. All the data, all the numbers indicated that our community needed a card show, a large card show. The closest we have is Tampa, Orlando, Palm Beach, Jacksonville. They do them all the time, you know. I think every 6 months we should have one. We're going to talk to our county, see if they'll provide the space again. Alachua County Event and Sports Center is an amazing space for something like this. There's a lot of parking. All the surveys we saw, you know, this came up many, many times. Great parking, celebration points, a great facility, a lot of good, clear signage, and there was people there spending money. That's what dealers want.
Of course.
And let's put this in perspective. Not only, this is not just about just cars or great cause. We brought people to our hotels. We filled up our restaurants. We helped our local community. These people came in from Pittsburgh, New York, London, LA, Atlanta to set up here and be here for the entire weekend. There's that notion that sometimes we forget to think about as well.
Yeah, heads in beds, the old term, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, look, I know sometimes things happen and they coalesce, but to get 3 Heisman winners from the same school in the same room for one event that they all gather for and unite for, that's pretty special too.
Very special, and that makes my heart smile. All day yesterday I'm looking at it and say, wow. And then you realize this has never happened outside New York. In a public setting, this has never happened. But this also tells you the what the charity is all about. This is all about a cause that they believe in, they're aligned with. They each have their own foundation, and they choose who to do charity work with. They believed in this cause. They saw the need for it in our community. They saw what it means for children. You should hear their speeches last night at the restaurant, at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. It was amazing. They became preachers, and they gave sermon. It was really from the heart, and this is what it's all about. You know, here we are. Yes, they're athletes. Yes, they're Heismans, but they came to Gainesville, Florida to support putting an Isaiah 117 house because they believed in it, donated all their time, their effort, and were aligned in their messaging. And, you know, sometime in the soon future, there will be an Isaiah 117 house thanks to all the sponsors, the community that's going to support it. We're going to build it, and it shall come, and it's great to see everyone get together. This is all about what the community is all about and what Gator Nation is all about as well.
And in closing, I think a lot of credit, you mentioned it, goes to Coach Spurrier, to Danny, to Tim, you know, for getting together behind one thing like this. And look, I'm a big history guy. If I had nothing to do with Florida, again, to see 3 Heisman dudes in the same room uniting for that doesn't happen all the time. That just does not come together like that, and they deserve a lot of credit for that too.
They do, and so many others. There's, you know, Sean Kelly was the MC, Jeff Cardozo was an MC. They donated their time. You promoting the event, all the media outlets. This is all of us together. But you're right, those 3 Heismans deserve a lot of credit. And when sports and community and sports can connect together and build something special, you know, it's a great feeling, and it's a great thing that everybody should appreciate. I know this is a sports show, but this was a sporting event that was contributing money for a great cause, and nothing better than that.
No, and that's a good way to end. There is nothing better than that. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate it. Really, really good weekend here. International Diamond Center email, Brian, agree or disagree, it seems like the trickle-down economics of college football transfers have moved their way into high school football, getting worse. Seems it's a subliminal cause of several programs across the country struggling to field teams. Jefferson County, for example, you talked about it last week, couldn't field a team. With the neighboring county being Leon, all the Tallahassee schools seem to be a flavor of the month, depending on the sport. It's discouraging watching prided programs struggle to hold on to kids. It is. When I don't know, and I don't mean to get philosophical here, but I don't know of very few things when there's change, even if it's positive change, that there isn't some residual that changes things, makes it worse in some cases for some things. And if you've heard some of the high school football coaches we've had on here, 3 or 4 of them have said, we lost kids. They transferred. I mean, Columbia County is the high school in Columbia County. They lost kids. They weren't playing. They left. And Coach Allen's been there a long time. So, yeah, I mean, this is part of what's not right, the changing landscape of the sport. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. Steve, I've been watching this quarterback thing from afar, and I really enjoyed your caller with that 7-5 prediction. He's real knowledgeable. I'm being a little optimistic. And, Steve, why is because Philo, like you said, he's played at Georgia Tech in that offense. And the reason I think, I'm not trying to down him and I'm not being negative, he beat out Jones because it takes a while to learn an offense, and he already knew it, so he already had a head start. I tell you what, I would love to see both of them come back next year, whatever happens, if they have the years. And, boy, that would be a battle because both of them would be in it, and that's how you win a championship. But, Steve, I think it's a great battle. I'm going with 9 still because I think with Philo's experience and knowing the offense, and I think he takes a few chances and he's getting better. That was one of his knocks with the interceptions, but he knows what he's doing and where to go with the ball. So I'm kind of confident there. So I'm just going to keep my 9 wins, Steve. And, Steve, real quick, I want to mention Miami and Jacksonville. And when you take Trevor, and I think they got Willis, Steve, the guy's quarterback and look like nothing. I mean, we see these great guys in college, and I see some of these guys I think can start in the pros. Why do some teams have backups, maybe Tampa, that they invested in, Jalen Daniels? And Tampa Miami and Jacksonville got people I've never heard of in the history of football, and they can't seem to complete a pass in an NFL preseason game. Well, Steve, I guess I'm just ranting. Thank you, Steve. Go Gators.
All right. Thank you, Byron. Look, part of that is it's just called a salary cap, right? So where do you invest your money? Some teams believe you need to spend money to get a really good number 2 quarterback. The Jets right now, number 2 quarterback is Cade Klubnik. Come on, okay? So if Geno Smith goes down, at least today, unless they make a trade, they got that guy. So they chose to invest money other places. By the way, speaking of that, remember the name Gavin Dickey? Played at Florida, 2-sport guy. The Houston Astros just let go of their general manager. The Astros are in first place with a below 500 record in their division. And the guy's name, Dana Brown, his responsibilities are going to be divided among the assistant general managers, Gavin Dickey being one of them. So he is now a big shot in the Astros front office. Pretty impressive. We'll take a break, come back, open the phone lines for you, your thoughts about Philo, the quarterback, any other things in sports you want to talk about. I'd like to talk about them with you here on Sports Scene on WRUF.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators! at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. 2026 GMC Sierra, $399 per month. 2026 Chevy Silverado, $379 per month. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Silverado. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer. May include loyalty, subject to lender approval. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Our Town Magazine and the Builders Association of North Central Florida invite you to the Our Town Home and Garden Show, August 29th and 30th at the Sports Events Center at Celebration Point, presented by Entrust Roofing and Visit Gainesville, featuring over 150 vendors with exclusive deals for all of your home, garden, and patio needs. From landscaping inspiration to the latest upgrades and renovation projects. Tickets are only $5 and children 10 and under are free. Check us out online at GainesvilleHomeandGarden.com. We'll see you there.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
After making it up to the middle 90s, temperatures will fall gradually to the mid 70s overnight. It won't feel as muggy because many of us will miss out on that rainfall. We will see an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity starting tomorrow, with over half the area seeing rainfall. Because of the increased cloud cover, high temperatures will only reach the low to mid 90s starting on Tuesday and running through the rest of the work week. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck.
Sunday Night Baseball plays here. WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
All right, we welcome you back to Sports Scene. Got a text line question. Andrew, when exactly does the excitement start for football? Can you feel it coming on? You want an honest answer? No. Let me repeat. No. Is it like a week out? Does it depend on last year's record? Partly it does. I mean, look, if you are coming off a college football playoff experience or appearance, I mean, you probably have great expectation for this year, right? Part of it is also the opponent. Take nothing away from Florida Atlantic, right? But it isn't exactly, playing a top 25 team right out of the gate. When Florida played Utah, remember? A game like that. I think there's more excitement. And the other thing is, nobody knows anything about Florida Atlantic. And we are attempting to get their coach and get a media person that covers them on here in the next few days so you can learn more and I can learn more about Florida Atlantic. But that's, again, kind of where we are with that. So, no, I don't think we've come close to, where this is. And again, Philo today named the starter, Coach Sumrall, his media availability today. And then tomorrow, some players will be made available. And I think that's it for the rest of the week. So, again, they're starting to wind down a little bit here. And we at least next week will have a game week, finally. Don't forget, August 31, the first day for Inside the Huddle. A new time, 11 a.m. The ball coach, the Gator QB Shane Matthews, and me, 11 to 12. Shane and I, 12 to 1. And then me, 1 to 2. Okay, that'll be every Monday. And somebody's already asked, are we working Labor Day? Yes, we are working Labor Day. You know, it used to be, when I taught here, you get like a comp day for that, right? You work a holiday, you get a comp day. No such thing now. You just work it or not. But yeah, that's how it's going to be. So yes, we are going to work that day. I am surprised also, Daryl did it, that more of you have not had something to say about all these court things. It's just crazy. And look, this is how this is. Great column, by the way, by Dan Wetzel on ESPN.com, and a great title. Thanks to the NCAA, the NFL waiver wire is the new national signing day. Yeah. I mean, again, Daquan Wright plans on signing with LSU. And once again, don't fault Lane Kiffin. He's doing what is allowed. So, remember, did he play for, I think he played for Kiffin at Ole Miss, didn't he? Somebody fact check me on it, but I think he did. So, again, it isn't like Wright is going to somebody he doesn't know. In the column, you make $13,000 a week on an NFL practice squad. So we will see what happens here. I'm just going to say this. Back in the day here, you know, when you do a show for nearly 30 years, the range of guests you have. Well, if you remember, the NCAA president was on here a few years ago. He's not here any longer, but the former. And one of the things I point blank asked him was, what in the hell is the role of the NCAA now? What do you do? And I would ask the same question of the NCAA now. Right? What do they do? Why is Congress involved in all of this? Okay? And look, how hard is it to say this many years to play this many seasons in college athletics? I just don't understand that. Okay. Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Chris is there. Hi, Chris.
Good afternoon, Steve. I think Philo's a good choice. Let's see what he can do and put him out there, and let's get the football season started.
Yep.
Hey, Steve, I'm just about as frustrated and flustered as you are about this whole college thing. I just don't get it. And your opinion and everybody else's opinion is who's going to sue who next, and when's it going to stop?
Yeah, nobody knows. And that's, I mean, maybe there can be legislation that will bind athletes, coaches, administrators, teams to something. I don't know. But, you know, it just seems like when something gets done, something is then done to undo what was done. And it gets really confusing. And the average, I'll tell you what, If I wasn't doing this and I was just a college football fan, I can't wait to start seeing a football game. So all this other nonsense goes away. But until we have that, and until something is resolved, bingo, we get this.
Definitely, and you even stated it earlier. This is trickled down to the high school level. It's on. You don't like the school, you don't like the coach. Bye, I'm going to play for somebody else.
Yeah, right. We'll find out.
Really, really quick here. What do you think about the Rays and the addition? And do you think they have the punch to finish it off and get into the playoffs?
Oh, they're going to be in the playoff. I think they have the capability of winning the whole thing. I think they have a chance to be a World Series winner. Now, short series, what happens, you never know. But I like the Rays roster a lot. They've been a little, they get really hot, and then they'll lose maybe 7 of 9, then get hot again. So you hope that when they get to the postseason, they're on a good streak, but they're certainly capable.
And it's good to see that they're finally making the steps to finalize the stadium down there. I tell you what, that'll be a win-win situation if they can pull that off.
I'll believe that when I see it too, but you're right. That would be great.
Steve, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Chris, thank you. Corey, Bernard, I'll get to you. We're going to take a top-of-the-hour break as Hour 2 of Sports Team will commence here momentarily. We thank Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour here. You're listening to ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Your new home for the Jacksonville Jaguars is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
College football is about to kick off, and there's no better way to experience every touchdown, every big play, and every unforgettable rivalry than with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Wehbe Marketing. He's been broadcasting Gator sports for more than 30 years. He's seen it all and spoken with everyone. This is Sports Scene with Steve Russell.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency. And brought to you in part by Campus USA Credit Union, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Doreen Wehbe Realtor, Meldon Law, UF Orthopedics, Atlantic Roofing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, Sensei Asian Bistro, and the head beer coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's the Dean of Gator Sports, Steve Russell.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Monday. Hope you're having a good day. I am, because I'm sitting here talking sports with you. Tori's producing today. Appreciate her work. Hope you enjoyed Nick Zimmerman, the Gator soccer coach, live here in studio as Florida gets the big upset win over Florida State over the weekend. We come to you live from the Southeast Car Agency studio. 50 years just about in business, doing the same thing every day, and man, they do it well. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles, high quality, great selection, and great price. Go see them today. When you do, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. You'll be glad that you did. Also, this hour brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late-night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. You can order at GatorDomino's.com. Don't forget Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Tori will get me those. The phone line, 392-8255. That's our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. The email, srussell@WRUF.com, is our International Diamond Center email. Let's go to the phones. Corey leads off the hour. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Steve. I'm glad to hear you're doing well.
Doing well.
That's good. Couple things. I'm excited about the season. I'm a younger fan. I think, I've been through, this is fourth or fifth coach I've been through. And I hear the same thing after every new coach. The attention to detail, the infrastructure, it's just repeated. So I'm not being negative. I'm just saying I'm reserving my excitement on this one. But with that being said, I did want to bring up one thing about the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. One thing I did not think about is with the landscape of college football. I think he may thrive in that. Just the chaos. His personality may mesh with that really well, as to where some coaches it's not.
Well, I think you have to adapt, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, you get left behind. Look what happened to Dabo Swinney. He did not embrace the transfer portal, and I think it hurt his program. He doesn't. He's doing it now, not as much as most are, but he at least is doing it. So, you have to change. Yeah, you have to change and adapt, and sometimes that's hard to do. And if you're older, right, and you've had a way of doing things and that way's been successful, well, why do I have to change? I've been successful. Well, the only constant is change. But I get it, because It's hard. Change is hard sometimes. And when it comes at the dizzying pace it's coming at now, not easy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Lane's been around. He's young, but he's been around a long time.
Sure, and he's, his dad's a coach. I mean, so, that helps too.
For him to be the first person or the first few to jump on the rule change, I'm not hating on him. I mean, he's like you said, he's doing what he's supposed to do. That shows a lot about him. That he's if anything, he's pliable. He'll bend.
Yep, and you have to. I mean, it is my opinion. You have to do that. There's a lot of ways to build a building, and I understand that. But you better, in this day and age when change is coming at such a rapid pace, you got to be Gumby, man. You got to roll with it.
Yeah, I was excited that Sumrall went and had an announced a quarterback, so we can start getting some consistency. And they may have been doing that all along, but it's just nice to know that, we're starting prep for game weeks, and we know, there's a plan in action and moving forward, and it's not in limbo. So I am excited about that.
All right. Appreciate you, Corey. Thank you for your call. Bernard, you're next. How are you?
Fine, Steve. I'll go fast. Several things on my mind. Number one, salute to this soccer team. You and I talked several times. Looked like when this guy got off the plane, Steve, he had a plan, and I think we have to do that now in this landscape of college sports. He brought some players with him in big win yesterday. Looked like Kyra Taylor has scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. I don't think she started. Maybe he's got him some depth. I'm in and out my office, so I didn't get to hear your interview with Nick Zimmerman. Steve, this other thing now about Daquan Wright, you correct. He did play for Kiffin at Ole Miss, and now he's going to LSU. I think he's already signed the agreement. Steve, let me say this, and you said that you're okay with it, and what is the NCAA about? Steve, when I was in graduate school, I wrote a paper on ethics, and then I had to get up and explain it, and I got a B because the professor asked a question, I didn't answer it correctly. Steve, there's honor among thieves. You keep saying about this and that. What if you had a boss at the University of Florida, you had your immediate supervisor, every time he told you something you didn't like, you went directly to the president of UL. So now colleges are going straight to court to get favorable rulings. And I will say this, I'm going to close by saying this. I think Florida, with this Denzine Aberdeen situation, he's ineligible right now. I think Florida needs to be more aggressive. I think Florida was hoping he would be eligible by association instead of being offensive and aggressive and going to the court and getting a ruling and getting a stay. That's always been Florida's kind of DNA. We want to do the right thing and hope for the best. These other schools are not doing that, Steve. They got over $40 million rosters, LSU, and then they get players any way they can by crook or hook. Steve, you take care and have a great day, okay?
All right, Bernard, thank you. And I think, to be fair, we don't know what Florida is doing specifically. So we can't say they're doing very little. We don't know that. And the situation is certainly fluid. By the way, this time of the year, Florida not the only team to name a starting quarterback. A true freshman is going to be the starting quarterback at Tennessee. Arkansas has a new head coach, and KJ Jackson is going to start in their opener. He's, I believe, played 6 times. So we'll see. He beat out another guy I've never heard of, A.J. Hill. But Jackson did start against Missouri last year and was, I'm looking it up here, 11 of 17 for 126 with a touchdown. So not bad. He was 33 of 54, 441, 3 touchdowns for the year. So we're starting to see, again, teams name a starting quarterback. And Brandon is the quarterback for Tennessee, 6'4", North Carolina kid, pretty much a pocket passer, But, again, he'll start up against Furman. And then, interestingly, they will play Georgia Tech after that. Tennessee will. I'm going to throw something out here. I wonder if this will ever happen. I've coached high school sports before. So let's say I have a senior who's a pretty good player. And first game of the year, senior goes down with an injury. Season-ending injury. Could you foresee that player going to court to go back to school and play another senior year? I can. Given everything that is happening here, if you think that's not possible, then your head's in the sand. I think that's very possible. We will see. But that would not shock me in the least. But the fact that Daquan Wright is on an NFL roster one day and then going to go back and play, I guess, at LSU the next day, if you'd have asked anybody that 5 years ago, they'd have looked at you with 10 heads. Like, you're crazy. But that's how quickly this has devolved into this. It's crazy. We'll take a break, come back. We'll hear from you, I hope. Sports Scene continues, coming to you live from the Southeast Car Agency studio on WRUF. Hey, folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
For 60 years, GW Homes has been building beautiful homes and helping families build great lives right here in Alachua County. GW Homes is Alachua County's luxury home builder, known for exceptional craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and a commitment to quality. And as a proud third-generation family-owned company, they know what it means to build for generations. Ready to build your dream home? Visit the GW Homes model this weekend or talk with a GW Homes team member today. Explore more at gwhomes.com. That's gwhomes.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for moneyline, spread and over, under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
WRUF, your new home for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You see it all around you. Good loving gone bad.
I know. I like it. Yeah. Hold on. Loosely. By the way, if you're listening at 1:30, got a little something for you coming up at 1:30. In the meantime, we will talk to Eddie. Eddie, hello.
Good morning, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I just wanted to touch base a little bit about what you were saying about high school football players and being able to come back if they were hurt or going back for the next year. Before I get into that, I'd like to say that I've been a college fan, a Florida fan my whole life. I never watched the NFL because it's all about the money. It's always been about the heart when it comes to college football. Now we've had to endure all the changes in college football I've changed back to the high school football because that's where the heart is coming from. So I feel like that the love of the game is kind of changed around a little bit. And when you come to the seniors in the high school field, you know, if that quarterback was to have failed that year, let's say he didn't come up with his academics, he didn't pass with grades, and he had to go back another year to pass his high school senior year, I would see where he would be eligible to play another year. But if you pass your classes and you pass all your grades and you get all your scores and you're ready to move on into college, I really do believe that they're not going to be eligible to play another year for high school. They're older, they're more developed, and they need to move on. That's just my thoughts about what you were discussing this morning. What do you think?
Couldn't you apply that as well to college? They're older, they should move on.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that, unless you come to, like I say, circumstances to where it allows the young man to be held back in his academic classes, or he didn't graduate, or he's going to have to spend another year on that campus to graduate to get to where – now, he didn't fail on purpose, don't get me wrong.
How do we know that?
He did not create enough.
How do we know that, though? That's the problem, Eddie. We don't know that, right? When I went to school, there was summer school. So if you didn't pass in the academic year, you got to go to summer school and make up a class or whatever you needed to do, and then you could go to the next grade. And I don't know how it is here in Florida, but I could certainly see where there could be manipulation of that. And I wasn't talking about academics. I was talking about injury. So I'm a senior, and I play one game, and I break my leg, and I can't play. So I'm going to petition to come back and play my senior year. I can see that happening.
I I can to a point, Steve, but like I was trying to make with my point, obviously I wasn't making it correctly, is that if he didn't pass for whatever reason and he had to stay at that high school, I could see him playing, but just off injury and wanting to come back to play, I don't think it's fair to the rest of the kids that want a career or move on into college.
I hear you. I'm just saying that might be tested someday. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened. That's all I'm saying.
Well, between you and I, we was hoping that all this money never ended up in college football, but it has. So, with the changes come along and everything, I hope you're right, Steve. But it's always been a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
I watch your show every day, and go Gators.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate your call. Bill, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Is question about Neal is, I heard it said this past week that they said South Carolina is basically, they had a donor or something. Anyway, they had an influx. They had $35 million that they had made available for Neal. And they basically said that $35 million pretty much guaranteed South Carolina was going to have a losing season with what they're up against with other teams, what their numbers are. Do you agree with that? And if South Carolina is doing 35, where does Florida stand? I mean, I've heard, Texas, they're saying 50, and Texas A&M like as high as 55, and all these numbers. Where are we at?
Oh, I have no idea, especially compared to other schools. I do know this. You can fact check me here. I believe it was last year South Carolina set a new fundraising record, and they raised over $100 million. So I don't know where that ranks in terms of the SEC or whatever. And look, I'm not going to say to you in this day and age that the amount of money raised doesn't have some effect on building a roster, because it certainly does, right?
Right.
But look, sometimes money isn't everything, and you can pay a player a lot, and if that player underachieves, then what? It's like the NFL, right? You can sign a player to a rich contract. If that player gets hurt or that player doesn't perform, then guess what? He's a bust. So just because you spend the money doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come out okay.
Exactly. Kind of moving on from that, everybody, including me, I'm tired of talking about it and, the whole Neal thing, but I just kind of wanted to get a gauging, as far as kind of where we were at.
Yeah, I mean, look, would you rather have a program, Bill, that has more money than doesn't? Sure you would, right? I mean, that's just common sense, sure. But it's also how it's spent. And I've been saying this for a couple of years now. I don't know that it'll ever happen in my lifetime. And I'm going to get on my soapbox here. If you're really, if people are really concerned about the spiraling cost of college athletics, go to the NFL model, where there is a salary cap, and everybody has the same amount of money. And then you're judged by your talent acquisition, how you spend that money. Does this big free agent pan out? Or is the guy that maybe didn't sign for a whole lot of money all of a sudden blossom into a star? That's where I think college should go, because then there's a finite amount of money that everybody gets. I wish they would do that, but I really believe this. I don't know if some schools want to do that. In other words, does LSU want to say, well, give us the same amount of money that, I don't know, Vanderbilt has? No. They want an advantage. We can raise more money than Vanderbilt, so why should we want a salary cap? So that's part of what you have to, go with too.
And then it opens up if you go to a cap and everybody's playing on a so-called, equal playing ground there. Everybody's got an equal field, but how do you control, the bags or the undocumented money? How do you
Well, that's always been a problem. I mean, that's been a problem since, wherever. But
forever.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from that is health-wise. I know we had a scrimmage this weekend, and really pretty much through all of the two-a-days, I hadn't really heard of any injuries, knock on wood. But how are we doing health-wise? Have we lost anybody?
Not that I am aware. I did not hear Sumrall today, but I did not hear of any major injury.
That's great. I mean, we've got to knock on wood, we've got to be as clean as I can ever remember, going into the season. Hope it continues. Thanks, Steve.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Take a break. We'll come back, and then I'm going to tell you something at 1:30 you might like to hear. Stick around. You're listening to Sports Scene on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Stream all of our shows on YouTube. Search WRUF, home of the Gators.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City, serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wehbe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
You know you're doing something right when your customers tell their friends and neighbors about you. That's why Ruse Ogra State Farm is proud to announce the opening of their second location, 25527 West Newberry Road in Newberry. From auto and home insurance to life insurance and more, if you're in Gainesville, Ruse can help you. And now if you're in Newberry, Ruse can help you. Ruse and his team thanks you for your trust, your referrals, and your support. Visit either of their 2 locations or call to get your personalized quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Stream all of our shows on YouTube. Search WRUF, home of the Gators.
All right. Little news for you concerning Gator football. Beginning Monday, August 31st, Gator Talk will premiere with head coach Jon Sumrall. It will take place each week at the Swamp Restaurant. Yeah. So mark it down. The Swamp, Monday, August 31st, the first Gator Talk with Gator football coach Jon Sumrall and the voice of the Gators, Sean Kelly, etc. All are there. All right. Let's open the phone lines for you. 392-8255, International Diamond Center. Email srussell@wruf.com. Don't forget, check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF. Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. YouTube comments here, and again, they come to us courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Sean, the only difference between now and the past is that paying players is now above board. Sean, they're so much different now than what there was back in the day. It ain't close. It ain't close, in my view. Neo, my interest in college football has gone down because it's becoming more and more like the NFL. That is going to be one of our topics for discussion tomorrow. Just that very subject. I'll reserve my comment till tomorrow. Greg says, in my opinion, the salary cap will be when the big boosters stop sending in so much money. Greg, I'm going to tell you what. I've never had a lot of money. So I don't know what it's like to say, oh, here's $1 million. Take it. Like I'll reach in my pocket and grab a 10, right? Or a fin. And you think all the time that this is going to stop. That they're just it has to at some point reach a point where it doesn't happen anymore. Well, guess what? We haven't reached that point yet. International Diamond Center email. Is there any room in the Jets fan base for me to join? Sam's a frustrated Browns fan. With the Browns naming Deshaun Watson as their starter today, I find it hard to cheer for them this season. Fans will cheer if he does well. That's how that always works. But he didn't endear himself, Watson, to what he said the other day about the fan base. That's not going to help him. Mike, Jags and Bucks give their fans chances to watch preseason practice. NFL's smart. They know it gets fans enthusiastic about the season, and they tell all of their friends. In college, it's the opposite. There's nothing that would help Florida Atlantic win a game because Gator fans watched a scrimmage. If that was true, why do NFL teams open practices? I hear that argument a lot. And I can't give an answer that makes any sense, except that, maybe they screen more in the NFL, no cameras, I don't know. But what would stop somebody from a cell phone, I don't know. Dean, is the on-off Aberdeen situation the result of him failing in the broad sweep of a general NCAA eligibility ruling by the courts? Not sure what you mean there, Dean. A broad sweep of a general NCAA eligibility ruling by the courts. I guess the answer is it just changes because of these lawsuits that are filed, because of these stays that are granted. It just changes. And he said, Gator Man blew it. Number one reason the Gators' offense will be good this year is Billy is not calling the plays. He said that. You misunderstood. He did say that he won't be calling the plays. So he did, in fact, say that. Don't forget, I believe, don't we have the Rays tonight? Rays and the Tigers tonight, I think. Yes, thank you, Charlie. I think 6 o'clock. So make sure as the regular season, beginning to wind down, we have that here. So far, been a good day. but still have a little time for you. 392-8255 again. You can email srussell@wruf.com. Every once in a while, I get an email like this, and it's usually this time of the year. Paul says, I've been a listener of yours for a long time, and you've done this show a long time. Is there ever any time you're sick of doing it? Let me use the word you used. Am I sick of doing it? No. That's never happened. Over all the years here, I've come in not feeling good, sore throat, a cold, went to the dentist, whatever. But sick of it? No. And I will tell you, if the day ever came I was sick of it, I would stop this in 5 seconds. Not worth my time, certainly not worth your time. So, no. I mean, are there days, when I don't get phone calls or texts or email? Yeah, then it's like pulling teeth. But no, I have enjoyed doing this all those years. And I'm assuming this year will be fun as well. All right, Mike. Interesting question. He said, if the Gators don't have Aberdeen for some reason, how will that affect their team? Oh, it'll affect them. I mean, I can't. Todd Golden would be able to answer that better than I, but when you lose a veteran player at that position, it doesn't certainly help you. I mean, you have no other choice but to adjust to that. So, yeah. BB says, crazy time. I can agree. I can see somebody suing for a senior year repeat, maybe even sue their parents for lack of sufficient training opportunities and bad food. I could have had a senior class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Saints just got in, running back drama with injuries, had to trade a linebacker for a 49ers running back, Zamir White. Didn't he play at Georgia? Zamir, I think he did, because the Saints are basically all out. I wonder if the Jets or the Saints are currently the more average or below average NFL team. I actually think the Saints, they got a pretty good quarterback. The Jets are still a long way away. But if they don't improve this year, the head coach is done after 2 years. Aaron Glenn will be out in 2 years. Now, what's improvement? How many games? Do you realize that guy is a defensive back by trade? Played for the Jets. The Jets did not have a pass interception last year. 0. Now, that's almost impossible. But it happened to the Jets. So there you go. David? Oh, by the way, tomorrow, if I can remember, I was going to bring this up. Because of being here a long time, the first coach I ever saw here coaching football was one Douglas Adair Dickey. And he was subsequently fired. Charles Byron Pell, eventually fired for cheating. Galen Hall, Steve Spurrier, etc. Okay? We've seen some good coaches here. We've seen, and obviously the vast, vast majority of you wanted Billy Napier gone. And you got your wish. So now with a new coach, forget optimism, forget anything like that. Tomorrow, I'm going to ask you this question. Given the landscape of college football now, How many years do you give a coach to be successful? And I also want you to define what your successful is. Okay? Because one can certainly say, 8, 9 wins, go to a bowl game. All right, cool. But that's what I want to know. How many years do you give a coach? And then what should that success level be in your mind for that coach to hang around, to keep his job or her job? Okay? And I think, obviously, that changes with who the coach is, with what other teams in the league have done with their coaches and the success or lack of it from other places. I mean, look, I'm going to say this and mean no disrespect. I don't think many Florida fans think Missouri or Kentucky belong ahead of Florida in a football hierarchy. I just don't believe that. But as I've said to you many times, history is a teacher. No one stays on top forever. You're judged, I think, by how long you stay down. We'll do that tomorrow. Our final break coming up. Then we'll have one more segment. And then Kevin and the Sports Lab gang coming up next. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Southeast Car Agency Studio on WRUF.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC, 2026 GMC Sierra, $399 per month. 2026 Chevy Silverado, $379 per month. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Silverado. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer. May include loyalty, subject to lender approval. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
The head ball coach scores again. Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager is now available everywhere at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Smooth and refreshing with just enough of a crisp finish. Also available at most places you buy beer. If you don't see it, ask for it.
A beer made by Gators for Gators. Make a great play and enjoy a cold one today.
Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
After making it up to the middle 90s, temperatures will fall gradually to the mid 70s overnight. It won't feel as muggy because many of us will miss out on that rainfall. We will see an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity starting tomorrow, with over half the area seeing rainfall. Now, because of the increased cloud cover, high temperatures will only reach the low to mid 90s starting on Tuesday and running through the rest of the work week. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck.
Every Gator football game all season long, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Well, if you're going to hear it, you might as well hear it in a love song, along with Marshall Tucker. Welcome back to Sports Scene. YouTube comment here. Jim, if Aberdeen can't play, then neither can Xavier and Lee. Aberdeen has a much better case than Lee does. I think Golden and Lee are good with Lee moving on. If Aberdeen can't come back, Clavshar will start, most likely unless Isaiah Brown made a big jump this offseason. You know, we have plenty of time to see what happens there. From Trent, are you sold on Philo? Am I sold on Philo? No. Do I think he's the right guy to start? Yeah. Again, I'm not in a practice. I don't watch them do their thing. But he has on paper, he has the most familiarity with Faulkner's system. If you're surprised he's the starter, I don't think you should be. Now, whether he remains that, you got to go earn that when you play. And I would hope that, if you're the backup here, you don't get discouraged. You take your reps because you literally are one play away from going into a game. I mean, is it disappointing to, not be a starter? It is. But I do agree with the decision on paper. The upcoming football season is going to be pretty cool for a lot of reasons. First-year coach, renewed hope, etc. But if you go to the Swamp, you can listen to the home radio broadcast in a great new way. Bottom line is, no delay. Yeah. Imagine sitting in the Swamp, listening to the game, seeing the play, and hearing the play in real time. That hasn't happened in a long time. To do it, you got to get the WRUF mobile app. When you do, you open the mobile app. On the bottom right, click the football icon that says In Game. Then click Play. Simple as that. You have real time. Up to the second, play-by-play from all of your home announcers. So download the WRUF mobile app for free. You can do that in your particular app store. And don't forget, Rays baseball tonight. Rays open a 3-game series in Detroit against the Tigres. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock. The Rays hunting in October. And we will see how they do as the regular season is beginning to really wind down now to a precious few games. Again, tomorrow, we're going to try to get some guests on here during the week. It's getting closer. We are trying to get somebody from Florida Atlantic, although they are not particularly responsive. But we are trying. Because, I would like to know more about Florida Atlantic, except what I see on a website. So we'll see if, in fact, that will happen. And again, tomorrow, How many years do you give a coach to be successful? And then what do you, I'll use football, and then what do you deem that success to be? In other words, hey, I give a coach 3 years, he should reach the playoff in year 3, something like whatever that might be. That's what I'm looking for, and we will do that tomorrow on the show. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say, because I have my own thought. I'm trying to separate myself and think, okay, what would I want from a Jets coach? Of course, if the Jets coach had a winning record, I'd probably have a parade down the street. But that said, realistically, what would I do? But I want to get your thoughts on that tomorrow, and then we'll see if there's any more breaking news from the courts tomorrow as well. There seems to be something every single day, and we'll see if, in fact, that happens tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed Nick Zimmerman today after that big win against Florida State. He came in the studio live today. It was great to see him, and that was a big win. That was Florida's first win over a ranked team in nearly 10 years. And, the program that Becky Burley established here, which was so good, I didn't realize that the dry spell had lasted as long as it did, but it certainly did. Volleyball is around the corner. I'm hoping to get Mary Wise on to give her thoughts on not just Florida, but, college volleyball in general. Always enjoy Mary, and I know a lot of you enjoy her as well. So we are working on that to see if we can make that work. By the way, did you see where the owner of the San Francisco 49ers was arrested in Ohio? He pled no contest after a prostitution charge was amended. The owner of the 49ers. You never quite know. And did you see the comments that Watson made about Browns fans? Well, he's now apologized for them. Good thing, because they were bad. And he's going to be the starter. That's our show for today. Kevin in the Sports Lab. Folks are next. And, man, there's a ton of them here today. So we got a full house of the Sports Lab. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to Tori for producing. Thanks to you for consuming. See you tomorrow. You're tuned to ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WYUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks?